When is a rule not a rule? When it no longer serves us. Great leaders, unstoppable leaders, are flexible and dynamic like water. They know that rules can form the channel that leads to their end goals. And they also know that when challenges and obstacles stand in their way, it's time to redefine those channel boundaries in order to grow. This is a trait of leadership. It is a trait of our humanity. It's about being the most innovative and creative visionary you can possibly be. Hi, welcome to the Unstoppable Leader. Whether you are a CEO, founder, or executive, or just want to be one, this YouTube channel is the place to get ideas, insights, and the clarity you need to be unstoppable. Grow your influence and impact each week with me and one key idea for high impact leadership. If you're ready to grow your influence, subscribe to this channel by clicking the red subscribe button below. Now let's get into this week's key content. Rules you must break to be true to yourself. We grow up thinking many things are set in stone because we've been told so. Like the earth is flat until one day it wasn't. There are rules and beliefs like these all around us that we must outgrow. Some are for dietary health. Some of you may remember when we thought it was good to eat a low-fat and high-carb diet. Some rules protect our privacy and our security. I mean, look at how fast technology is redefining these rules. And some rules are to keep things the way they've always been. And this one is on everyone's mind right now. These unconscious biases and unspoken beliefs form rules that are a common thread in societal norms. A societal norm is the way people behave, which has become so familiar, people think of them as rules, when in truth, they are not. Some are about safety and power, and some are about individuality and freedom. While there might be a time and a place for staying in line, it can do more harm than good for our personal growth and fulfillment, especially when it comes to mental health and emotional well-being. So, how do you know which societal norms or rules you must break in order to be true to yourself? So, here are 4 things to consider. The first one is the idea this is the way it's always been done. It seems no matter what you're talking about, trying to convince someone, and usually that someone is yourself, they should do something differently is always an uphill battle. After all, it's always easier to keep things exactly as they are. Change requires effort, except you can't move forward at all if you're always doing the same thing over and over. So for each of these ideas, I'm going to give you a question to consider. Consider this question about the way it's always been done. What assumptions are you making about doing it the way you have been told to do it, rather than boldly experimenting with something that feels more authentic to you? The next rule is it's expected. Look, everyone has expectations. Our parents might put certain educational expectations on us. Our friends expect us to do what they're doing. Even our significant others can expect us to behave in ways that feel right for them. The problem? Well, when we live solely to others' expectations, we forget to stay true to ourselves. Maybe we don't want college or kids. Maybe expressing our true wants or identity feels like risking rejection. Our picture of success may be entirely different from someone else's. So here's the question to consider when we're looking at the rule, it's expected. What expectations others have of you are blocking your pursuit of your true desires? The next rule is the rule of mirror images. It implies that we should all be exactly alike, right? Wrong. Sometimes it may seem this way. We tend to avoid and invalidate Even without thinking about it, people who act and think and believe differently than we do, or are not adopting what we call the norm. When have you wanted to do something a little bit different from everyone else and were courageous enough to do it? And then here's another rule. It's what you see. Think about what you see all day long. We love movies, TV, social media, and we also love to listen to what these media tell us about absolutely everything. We make celebrities of our role models and take for gospel truth information from sometimes the sketchiest of sources, no matter which side of an issue you're on. Isn't it better to think for yourself and decide what's right and wrong? Here's the question for you to consider. And this one is a tough one. Think about how can you be sure whether you are actually thinking for yourself instead of blindly following inaccurate or imbalanced information? I'll give you a hint. The inner wisdom of our intuition is a trustworthy source when we know how to use it. Breaking norms and rules are never about doing something that could cause harm to others. This is a very important point. It's always about being more authentically and powerfully you. If you're feeling stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed, or even depressed right now, it might be time to look at what it is you want, independent of society's norms and rules. And then do something outrageous. Be true to yourself.